Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Ethics Hours. My name is Anando Sapati. Today, we are going to discuss about Einstein conversation mining. Let's get started. So, here is the short agenda for today. We'll discuss what is Einstein conversation mining, how it works, the background, and how to enable in the org, and a quick demo on how to create a report, and then at the end, key considerations. So, what is Einstein conversation mining? So, as the name suggests, the feature mines through the data in Salesforce where it has conversations. So, what are the various channels where we have conversations in Salesforce? They are primarily email to case, web to case, chat in various forms like legacy chat and the messaging in app for web. So this technology mines through the data, which is nothing but the conversations happen between the agent and the customers, and gives us valuable insights. So it these insights are in terms of dashboards in service intelligence. So there is a separate set of analytics that are compiled for the service agent, the supervisor, and the executive management. Okay, and how this tool works. It behind the scenes, it's natural language processing because the conversation is a chat between an agent or a customer with a bot. And then machine learning, you leverages machine learning to automatically analyze the customer interactions, which is nothing but conversations. These interactions, it identify the sentiment analysis, it identifies you know meaningful insights, which we're going to discuss in the next slides. So as an outcome of this, the company can gain deeper understanding of customer needs, preferences, and pain points, and they can address them through automation or through more training to the agents or having more knowledge articles likewise. So how it works? So here are the key concepts. The mining basically looks for two main components, which is contact reason and the accept. So contact reason is the primary reason for which a customer reaches out to a call center or a customer service agent. Let's say I want to cancel my upcoming flight ticket, or I want to change the itinerary of my upcoming uh, trip, or I want to log an issue with the service I have received few days ago. The contact reason might be anything based on the kind of service or the product which the company offers. Out of which, except I have given the simple definition here. Except means it's a one particular segment taken from a big chunk of paragraph. Okay, so in our previous example, say I'm looking in this example here, a customer is interacting with an agent, and see there are 2 points highlighted here. The first one is the contact reason, which is book a new appointment. Okay, and the accept from which is new appointment, right? So that's the thing which the conversation mining analyzes and generates as a bunch of contact reasons for which there would be underlying accepts. Okay, so in these two main concepts where it captures as input, what are the outputs? So the two main outputs are conversation frequency and average number of conversation returns. So in a nutshell, conversation frequency is how much time the session happened. Let's say from the minute I initiated the chat until the chat session has been ended. What is the total amount of time it took? That's the conversation frequency. And average number of conversation turns. So during this period of time, let's say the conversation happened for 2 minutes, how many times I have sent the message and versus how many times the agent responded. So number of turns it took from between the agent and the customer. So these two are the valuable outputs which the mining report will provide us. So now let's see a quick demo on how to enable it and how to create a report. Here I'm in my sandbox. So go to the setup. A regular setup should be fine, and search for mining. Then we're gonna see the conversation mining. Enabling conversation mining is very easy. It's just we have to toggle this button. There's no other setup required, right? I have already enabled it in my org, so that's why you see it. And then for enhanced conversation mining, we need to connect it to the data cloud, right? So we already saw how to enable data cloud in one of the previous videos. You can enable the data cloud in the org and hit this. Salesforce automatically identifies the instance connected to this org and connects it for us. Okay, so here are a few things where I tried in the past. So this report is still in progress, but let's see how to create a new report and what are the options we have in creating a new report. Click new report here. So let's give a name, and here there are some suggestions. Okay, so I will take MIW FI 23 to 24. Okay, so this is enhanced conversations. It's not enabled in my org, but I just want to show you how it looks. So select this, hit next, and here we can select the dates based on the requirement. And if different types of enhanced uh, channels are enabled in the org, let's say Facebook or WhatsApp, or the experience site chat instead of legacy chat, then all those channels will be listed here. So you can select one channel or more than one channel and hit build report. Okay, as I don't have any of them enabled in my org, there's nothing listed here. Let's go back. Now I want to do, let's say, chat. So chat is the legacy chat. Hit next, and here I'm going to select 2023 1st of October till today. Hit next. So here it is asking us to include all conversations or segment our conversations. Let's see what it takes if we select segment conversations. Then it will give us the choice. Okay, so I'll pick chat here, and then it gives us the criteria to set in our chat. Okay, let's say you want to mine only chat transcripts where the duration is greater than 2 minutes, right? So likewise, you can segment the data you have instead of mining the whole conversations. Okay. However, I click back, and if I include all conversations, it directly takes me to build report, and I'll build report now. So it says analysis in progress. Usually it takes quite some time to run this report because it's not a generating the report on the structured data, it's unstructured data, which is the chat conversations, on top of which we it applies NLP, natural language processing, and the machine learning. So it takes quite some time. Last time these reports it took around 8 hours, and of course how huge the data set is based on the filters we selected and the channel we selected. All right. So I don't have the report to show you, but I have a snapshot on how it looks. So here is the recommendations after the mining report is generated. So if you see the topic is the key contact reason and the excerpts. So all different kinds or different categories of excerpts that fall under in this topic. It will list few major excerpts, and then at the end you see the key evaluations or the key stats generated by the mining. So average duration of chat with this kind of topic, okay, and average turns, the conversation between, so how many times the customer sends the chat message to the agent and vice versa. So overall in the session, how many conversations or the turns happen, like a ping pong game. And it says 16 times. And in overall data we feed for this report, it's 25% of the chats fall under this key contact reason, and it considered 635 638 chat sessions to give us this data. Okay, so similarly it will list out all the key contact reasons as topics and the corresponding excerpts and their granular level durations and turns. So this will help the executive management to identify where they are getting more number of cases, or where their customer service agents are spending more time in answering or addressing the questions. Then based on their business criticality, they can plan various automations with the Einstein bots or any other automations available omni-channel to deflect those cases, or they can train their customer service agents so that they know the answers for most of the customers questions and close the chat quickly. So here we're going to see the data sources. So earlier when we are creating the report, we saw the 4 types of channels, but there is no visibility on which object the mining report is capturing the data from. I know it is obvious these mappings, but it would be helpful for the people who don't have much of a knowledge on Service Cloud or Service Cloud related tools like email to case or web to case. So chat, which is the legacy chat, depends or extracts the data from the live chat transcript object. Email to case from the email message object where parent ID is case. So here I listed various sources of data for based on each channel. I know this mapping is very obvious for the people who has a very good experience on Service Cloud related features, but I thought it would be helpful to list down explicitly. So the legacy chat is based on the live chat transcript object, and the email to case relies on email message object where parent ID is set to case. Web to case relies on case object, but the standard field origin should be set to web. And the enhanced conversation channel, which is nothing but messaging in app for web, is based on the messaging session object. So when before we are going to enable the Einstein conversation mining, so we have to make sure what is the ask. So if the ask is, let's say mining the email conversations happen, okay, over the last 2 years, then we need to check first if email to case is enabled or not. If it's enabled, what percentage of cases we are getting through email, right? So let's say if the data is very less, going through conversation mining will not really help, because 2500 valid conversations should be available for the conversation mining to generate a report or recommendations. So if we don't have such data, we cannot obviously enable it. So here I list down quite a few considerations. I will not be going through each of them, but I'll highlight few things which I feel are very important. The first thing, it only supports English as of now. So any case or any conversation which happens in any other language other than English, the mining will not consider that data. So if you are a company where you operate across the world and you capture cases in different languages, so for now the scope for conversation mining will be only English. And the second one is, by default it only captures the data for the last 2 years. So to my knowledge, I couldn't find any place where we can play with this time period. So it's by default 2 years and up. So we cannot do more than 2 years. So it's a very real, very important consideration to keep in mind when giving the high level scope for the business. And the fourth one, when you create two Einstein conversation mining reports with the same set of filters, let's say email to case, last 1 year, all conversations. If you run this twice, Salesforce is mentioning that the results of these two reports might be different. Why? Because it's machine learning, so and it's AI. So the clustering will be decided by the AI dynamically. So it's like, you know, giving the same prompt to any of the GPTs out there, we will not expect the same kind of response, right? So it's the similar thing here. And to get the quality of the reports, so we have to make sure that it's a free text field which we are inputting. It's not an auto generated text field. And I already discussed this. For email to message, the parent ID should be the case, otherwise all such email to message records will be discarded. And for web to case reports, they are not supporting in the service intelligence dashboard yet. Similarly, for the enhanced conversations, the data in the sandbox is not considered for the mining. So there are quite a few considerations for the mining given its complexity of the product, because it's data and it's going to be huge, and as we discussed earlier, it's unstructured data. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching my session.